Alright, we're back with another video. I need to fix my LMT. I broke it. So in my last video on the LMT, where I was putting on these orange links on the new GPM shocks, I shattered the rear axle. So you can see there, pretty much that's done. So I have put a bunch of carbon on, if you watch my carbon axle mod video. So I gotta pull that carbon off, take these axles off, take them apart, and put on my new housing. Let me show you the new housings. So I will be installing these Area RC aluminum axle housings for the LMT. So let me open that up and I'll show you, give you a closer look. So these look quite good. I'll just take out the main axle, and it looks to be all CNC'd. And it's beautiful and shiny. So these are quite nice. They're not as expensive. They're not as expensive as the Viviton or Vitavon. Viviton or Vitavon? I always say it wrong. It's one of those two. Or the Triel axles. So axle housings. They're not as expensive. I don't think this is billet aluminum. It might be. I don't know. They're quite a bit cheaper, and if you notice on the sides, they don't have, this is where the shock mount goes. So the shock mounts aren't integrated. We do have the lower links integrated. I guess this is, or the upper links, sorry. The upper links integrated, but everything else is left off, and that's really good for me in particular, because on my truck, I have installed hot racing lower links and upper link mounts for the shocks. And so they cost quite a bit. And so I'm happy to get to use these still after I upgrade the axle housings. These Area RC axle housings, you can get them on eBay and Facebook, I imagine, and some other sites. Here in China, I just bought them on Taobao. They are a Chinese company, and on my truck right now, the servo mount is Area RC, and it works pretty well, so I thought I'd pick these up. Now, there's no bearings or other hardware included. It's just the axle mount, or the axle housing, the back plate, it's the back plate in there, and the center link mounts, and a bunch of screws. So there's no bearings or anything in these kits. So that's one reason they're cheaper. So I'm gonna disassemble my LMT and try to install these axle housings. So I hope my bearings are good. I may not have replacement bearings. We won't know that until we get it apart. So let's get started. Alright, let's get our new housings, and let's get some grease. Okay, we got some grease. We're going to use this Rock Passion high pressure grease. It's pretty good. I lost a little scoop for it. So We're just gonna have to wing it, I guess. Maybe I'll use this for greasing. Alright, so we got our grease, we got our axle, and now we gotta put it all together. There is a little discoloration on these. So, that's top, and that's the bottom. Alright, good to know. So, let's get all our parts open. These are to hold the bearings in place. And we got our little screw bag here. So let's dump those out. See what we got. Take some nice big heavy screws. So I assume that's how that goes, but maybe that's how that goes. Huh. Let's check on the old axle. It might give us a hint. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put it together this way. So these post up. I think that's the right way. And it fits nice and securely. Alright, so we have these. These hold these bearings in place, I believe. Let's slide those on. Put those on there. And these should lock to this. So, what we need to do is, these are the bearings from the LMT. Shove one in there. Fits well. Shove it in the back. It fits well. And shove our bevel gear through it. Alright, so that all fits well. Their bevel gear. So I believe what happens now is I bolt this to this part. I'm going to put some grease down inside before I start, using my handy dandy grease wrench tool. Some of this nice blue grease in there. Looks like fairly good coverage. Alright. So I'll just set that in. There we go. Perfect. So, now to think about what the screws, there are screws, there are threads on that side. These are quite heavy. So I think these 4 big ones. Alright, we're going to throw some thread locker on these screws. I'm assuming there's 4 of these. There's 3 of them. Oh wait, there's 4. Good. A little bit liberal. Okay. So these screw in from this side. as long as you use the right size wrench. So finger tight to start. Nice threads in this aluminum, so that's good to see. Sometimes with cheaper products the threading is poor and then this becomes a real pain, but it's pretty good. Alright, done. And you can see come through on this side. Okay, so that was easy. I'll clean out this cup a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the ends of these rods when I put them in. So I guess it's time to break out the GPM parts. I guess if I put that together, then I can load the rods from here. Yeah. So we'll put this together. I'll throw a little bit more grease on the gear. More grease, more better. That's special RC mechanic knowledge. More grease, more better. A lot of it just gets spun off, but that looks pretty good. Alright, let's go ahead and put this together. We're going to drop some thread lock in these threads before I do that. A little coating on the inside. A little bit messy. There we go. Now I need 4 screws for that. We got these long ones. These shorter ones. Well, one of those. Huh. How big are those threads? Oh no, we need bigger ones. These screws. Alright, let's get that going. Nice heavy screws. Oh, there we go. These. Perfect. Look at that, sticks in there. Very, very nice. Very nice, very nice. Alright. Top goes to the back. Alright. There we go. Throw a bearing in. There we are. So let's put those on. I'm going to use these ones. These are shorter. Oh, they took a different size head. Jeez, that's even worse. Let's see. There, that side's done. Everything spins pretty freely. Nice, super stiff. Now I'll do the other side. Okay, we got our truck back up, and now we do the reverse process, and we got to put all these things back on. So I think we'll start with these upper link mounts. Alright, so that's the rear axle installed. I hope you enjoyed that. So that's our rear axle installed. It looks pretty good. It works just fine. I think it looks actually very, very good. So I still have to do the front, but it's the same process for the front as the rear. It's just you have to put a different linkage on the ends and a mount for the servo. So pretty much the exact same process as far as installation of an axle, removing the old one and installing a new axle housing. But that does look really, really sweet, and looks really, really tough. That looks like it's gonna be excellent. Very worthwhile upgrade. And yeah, time to do the front. So I won't bother filming that because it's the same thing again. But we'll take a look when it's all done and the wheels are back on. Alright, I'm done. That took a little bit longer than I had planned, and it's partially because I made a couple mistakes. Always remember which side your differential gear is on when you build one axle, so you can do the opposite on the other. So I actually had to take apart the rear one after I had it all together because I did the front one backwards. Now, all my wheels turn the right direction. I have to say I'm really pleased. So I quite like these Area axle housings. I think they're a very good option. If you're wanting to upgrade and you want something that's pretty good quality, doesn't cost you as much as Vitavon or Trial, but isn't so cheap there will be mistakes. So there's no problems. One thing I really want to check with these was threads. See if the threads are nice and strong. You're putting steel into aluminum. See if the threads are done well. Because if they're not, that's usually a huge problem. Yeah, so when you're buying aluminum parts, if the threads aren't threaded well or aren't threaded at all, which I've actually seen, you're gonna struggle. And if you strip the threads out of an aluminum part, there's no fixing it really. So I'm very, very happy with that. I also like the fact that I can put my own mounts, like my own shock mounts and my own lower link mounts and stuff on, whereas most aluminum axle housings actually come with those things already molded in the aluminum. So that's nice. So if I bend them or whatever, I can change them out and put new ones on. Can't do that with others. I think these look really, really nice. I like the way the diff attaches to the back of the axle and can take out the whole piece and it's already attached. That's pretty slick. I think these are going to be very, very sturdy. I still have the plastic ends on front and back, so there should be a little give in there. Yeah, if you need axle housings and you don't want to go with those really cheap ones, I've seen really cheap aluminum ones. I almost got them. These aren't even twice as much, so I would go with these over those for sure. Yeah. So all we got to do now is take it outside and drive it, and hopefully this time not break it. I've broken this truck a bit, thus a lot of the parts that are on it. But I love this truck. LMT is a serious beast, and now we got to take it outside and put it through its paces. But today it is a rainy day, so I won't be doing that today. But so that's all we have for this video. I'll have this truck out again to run it another time. And yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. I'd really like to see my channel grow because, you know, it's a lot of hard work. So really, thanks a lot for watching. And if you want to see more stuff, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll have more things come for you in the future. So catch you next time. Thanks, guys.